Thousands of military men and women say their combat earplugs didn't protect them. The veterans are now sounding off in court.
Campgrounds are full or filling fast as people rush to book their summer spots.
Plus, some Minnesotans went in for the COVID vaccine and got something else. Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
We begin tonight with one of the largest mass tort cases in history involving hearing loss among thousands of veterans.
For years, the military gave men and women deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan a standard issue set of earplugs, which they say didn't protect them. 200,000 vets are taking a giant company, 3M, to court.
Our national investigative team shows us how taxpayer dollars come into play when veterans need medical care. Here's Investigate TV's Sandra Jones with one of those veterans who's sounding off.
September 11th, 2001, a day we will never forget.
You know, a broke college kid with no money, and I couldn't help but think, all right, the country's been attacked.
A game changer for Brett James Bailey. After 9/11, the 21-year-old joined the United States Army as an infantryman and served 2 tours of duty in both Afghanistan and Iraq. For 13 years, he said he wore these combat arms earplugs required by the military.
I just thought they were regular earplugs, you know.
Bailey says he encountered a problem during his first deployment in Afghanistan.
I can remember, like, ears ringing a lot and hurting at the time. The ringing in my ears was so loud that, kind of drowned out everything else.
He said his audiologist insisted he get tested for tinnitus. Eventually, he did.
They told me was that, I had the hearing of like a 60-year-old man or something, when I was 30.
But did you ever expect that you would deal with an injury like this?
Honestly, no. I figured if you wear the earplugs, that it shouldn't be an issue.
Bailey is among the more than 200,000 veterans involved in a multi-district litigation suit filed against 3M and Erno Technologies, LLC. Erno invented the combat arms earplugs and was bought by 3M in 2008. According to the lawsuit, the 2-sided earplugs are faulty, causing health issues such as hearing loss and tinnitus. Court records describe the way the product was designed. The dark side protects users from continuous noise, and the yellow side blocks the sound of military gunfire while still allowing someone to hear verbal commands. Plaintiffs claim the earplugs became defective when the Army requested a shortened version. They believe 3M falsified test results and misrepresented their performance to qualify for a multi-million-dollar yearly government contract. In an emailed response to Investigate TV, attorneys for 3M and Erno Technologies denied liability, saying it worked with the military to design, develop, and test the earplugs, even working with the military audiologist, and that the product met all the rigorous specifications requested. The company went on to say the length of the earplug does not, as claimed by plaintiffs, make the earplug defectively designed. The United States Department of Defense declined comment for this story, citing the pending court case. The Department of Defense spent millions of dollars a year on these combat arms earplugs. As just one example, court documents reveal an invoice for roughly 3,400 earplugs costing $323 apiece in 2006.
The total amount added up to $1.1 million just for one order.
Hearing that other veterans are taking a stand on this issue means a lot to Brett James Bailey.
If all your soldiers can't hear, what good are we?
Sandra Jones, Valley News Live.
Hearing loss in the military is a broader issue than earplugs in this case. Audiology researchers at the VA say they spend more than $1 billion a year to treat hearing loss. In 2010, 1 in every 5 hearing aids sold in the United States was bought by the VA.
A local woman has a warning tonight that an upcoming bar crawl in downtown Fargo is a scam. Carrie Anderson says shortly after buying tickets to both a Margarita and Sunday Fun Day bar crawl slated for next weekend, the dates changed to next November. And when she asked for a refund, she was told it wouldn't happen.
It's disappointing that people can take advantage of you like that and get away with it.
Searches of Bar Crawl Unlimited show dozens of complaints on the Better Business Bureau's site from across the U.S. and an F rating. If you need help uncovering fraud or corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline. Call 237-6576 and leave your tip.
The CDC is expected to update its physical distancing guidelines for schools from 6 to 3 feet tomorrow. Health officials are pointing to a study that shows no significant difference in rates of COVID-19 at Massachusetts public schools. The CDC director is calling the issue urgent as the 6 feet guideline has posed such problem for schools. 2 COVID-19 variants first identified in California have been discovered in North Dakota. That now makes 4 cases, and each of the victims has recovered. The cases were found along with UK variant viruses through surveillance testing.
It's not the news any vaccine recipient wants. Some people in central Minnesota were told they actually got shots of saline instead of the COVID vaccine they were expecting. Centra Care Health says it happened to a small number of patients at a clinic in Sauk Center. Pharmacists say a shot of saline isn't harmful. The vaccine normally has to be mixed with saline before being administered. It's believed that's how the mix-up happened.
I think an easy way to avoid it is to just get rid of the saline vial when you're done with it. But if you have extras laying around or something like that, I could see why you might get it confused.
The patients will have to be revaccinated. Centra Care says it's taking steps to make sure this doesn't happen again. To stay on top of the latest COVID vaccine-related information, you can use our VNL vaccine tracker. It's on our website's homepage, or you can open your phone camera right now and point it at the QR code on your screen. Then tap the link that pops up.
22-year-old David Erno has now pleaded guilty to helping cover up the murder of Destiny Avery. He is one of 4 people accused in her death. Erno will be sentenced a month from now on April 19th. Meanwhile, the man accused of murdering Destiny, Ethan Broad, was supposed to be sentenced but now is seeking a trial. That will happen on March 31st. 12 jurors have been chosen for the trial of a former Minneapolis police officer charged in George Floyd's death. 2 alternates must still be picked. Prosecutors want a judge to allow a forensic psychiatrist to testify that Floyd's actions when he struggled with officers were consistent with any reasonable person's anxiety or panic during a traumatic event, and that he wasn't necessarily resisting arrest. Derek Chauvin's attorney says he should be able to tell the jury about Floyd's drug arrest a year earlier. The judge in the case will rule tomorrow.
Governor Tim Walz has revised his 2-year budget proposal, removing nearly $1 billion in proposed tax increases. The adjusted plan reduces new taxes to about $670 million and increases tax relief to nearly $1 billion for families, renters, businesses, and unemployed workers. It also eliminates proposed cigarette and estate taxes. Senate Republicans released a proposal earlier with no new tax increases. House Democrats will announce their plan next week.
After being cooped up during the pandemic, people are gearing up to go camping this summer. And as Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie found out, campsites are filling fast.
After a long winter and a pandemic summer,
everyone's looking for campsites.
People are itching to get out. This year, more than ever.
We have a waiting list already.
Park owners like Randy Tooney preparing for a busy season. He opened Lakeside RV Park in Otter Tail last summer with 14 sites. 6 days later, a tornado ripped through the park. It was during the cleanup he and his partner decided to quadruple the number of sites.
It was a 5-year plan for us to fill it up 10 lots a year, and we ended up doing it in 4 months.
All 51 booked by Labor Day. The story's the same for others like those at the Long Lake campsite in Detroit Lakes.
That's filling up actually faster this year and getting a lot of calls for seasonal sites.
Kelvin Wold and his family have run the place since 1972, but haven't seen a season like this.
Most of the weekends, other than a few in June, they're gone already.
Wold and Tooney say you might not have much luck finding a season pass this late in the game or a spot on the weekend. Opening day is right around the corner, May 1st.
Then it's 7 days a week till October 1st.
And state parks are filling up just as fast. There are still a few reservations open online for parks like Itasca and Buffalo River, but if home is where you park it, book now. In Minnesota, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
Now, to make a camping reservation at an area state park, download the VNL News app. We have links that can help you on this story.
NDSU and UND are gearing up to renew their rivalry this Saturday at the Fargo Dome. You can spend game day with Valley News Live on KVLY. The pregame show is at 1:30. Kickoff is set for 2:30.
The median survival rate for what I have is 3 to 4 months.
Still ahead tonight on Valley News Live at 10, the inspiring story of a woman who in a matter of days was diagnosed with COVID, then cancer. We'll tell you how her journey brought her to North Dakota.
But first, the warm-up is coming, but the weather team is watching a bump in the road next week. Hutch breaks it down for us right after the break.